And I'm Jolene.
We're talking about Big Brother, but Jolene is here.
Yay!
Wait, did we get to sing your song?
Oh yeah.
Big
Breakdown with Jolene. That's me, but it should be Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Jolene and Sarah. Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Jolene and Sarah. That's us.
Obviously, we did not practice that at all. So we just finished the eviction episode, so we're gonna just backtrack a smidge here to go touch on Wednesday's episode, Thursday's episode, and just talk about all this craziness that has happened. So Wednesday we start with the noms. So after the noms, but the main thing was this just horribleness that took place with grateful / hateful, 9 despicable, 9 whatever we're calling them.
Undesirables, I call them.
Yeah.
It was almost like having to rewatch it if you watch live feeds like we do. It's just bringing that trauma back. It was too much.
Right. I didn't really enjoy seeing it again, although I do appreciate that they showed enough of it to get the gist that was gross. Nicole and poor Ovi and David, you know, like they get all of our love and respect. And then they showed enough. Obviously there was a lot of the after, like the blowout afterwards where Nicole was like, do I ever get to speak? They couldn't show it all, obviously, but they showed enough to show that Bella and that Nicole
just
at least
stop, Nicole, just stop. Just stop with your lies. Like, Bella, you're the liar. And I love that Nicole just said, you know what? It's you. I don't care.
Right. But I'm glad that they didn't just jump to that.
Yes.
If they had been like this horrible thing and then we just see Nicole be like, it's you, we wouldn't have known like how Bella really
how condescending she is, patronizing, and
So I'm glad we got to see that, even though it was not easy to watch.
It wasn't easy. And then to see Ovi like go and stick up for Nicole, and I just, I had all the feels for Ovi.
I know.
That happened.
I'm glad that they showed that too.
Yes.
Because he really did like put game aside. Because so many times we're like, well, but it's a game. And like, do you speak up? Like, you don't want to ruin your chances of winning. And like, he was like, I don't care. Like, as a human, let's be nice to each other. Okay, then we go to a veto with Caitlyn.
I loved it, actually. Did you?
Sure. I mean, first off, you know, bringing Caitlyn back, but it was like with shade a little bit, so I was okay with that.
That's a good thing about Caitlyn. At least she does have a sense of humor about herself, and you see that now since she's a year out of the house.
Right. And I bet that really does traumatize her to think about that puzzle.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Hers was only, what, 3 pieces?
It was, 3.5.
This one had a few more pieces. So they had the forest. It was like a nightmare foresty.
It was very, it fit with the camp theme. It was like scary stories, and Caitlyn was like this, reliving her nightmare.
Yes, that was cute. Looking for pieces to build their puzzle. Yes. And Kat just ran away with it.
She came out of nowhere.
She's
in Mensa.
People are still, Christy's like looking for pieces. I don't know who was actually throwing it and who's actually playing it, but it looked like Kat was the only one really playing it.
I know. And when I first heard on the feeds that she won, I thought, wow, a puzzle. And then when I saw the puzzle, I was like, oh, a puzzle.
It's a puzzle.
But good for you, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, she gets all the credit in the world because I don't think Christy was throwing it. I do think Christy was trying to find her pieces and couldn't even get to it. And who else? Jess was
She was putting things backwards. That was Cliff. Cliff was doing okay. Jackson, I think he tried to say he threw it.
Yeah, he might have been throwing it. Then we got the amazing Christy breakdown.
It was so good because it came out of nowhere.
I wasn't sure that they were going to show it.
No.
Because really, it had nothing to do with the game whatsoever. So we could have just skipped it, but it was too good.
It was so good.
And then they made it even better with like the slowing it down with the Brussels sprouts.
That was the one thing that she was really just like sipping like.
And you saw her like lose her mind legitimately. And she's in the diary room like, do I use my power? And then at the end, I think she was like, I really dodged it with this one. I got myself out of a big one. And I was like, no
one had your name in their mouth, Christy. And then
not at all.
Went off and
not in danger.
Yeah.
So
just went crazy.
You just did that. That's all.
You manifested your nutso-ness and put it out and projected it.
Yeah.
It's a manifestation projection, and it was weird.
Did Caitlyn coming into the house mess up her vibes?
I think
Is
so.
that what happened?
Oh my gosh, they cross-manifested vibes. You can't have 2 manifestors in the same place at the same time. You never see it.
Not to mention, anyone can manifest. That's okay. That's a whole other their
or
point.
coincidence.
Then we actually see the ceremony, and it goes as planned.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with Christy. Kat has her moment.
I know.
And she's like, did you notice she overpronounced a veto every single time? She's like, I have the veto and the right to take you down off the block. I was like, is she hosting? Is she presenting?
She's doing an audition. Much like Cliff was doing an audition with Cliff Notes.
Yes.
She's doing an audition. And she wore the veto all week. She never took it off, even tanning.
Oh, I love it. That part I love. But now she's just taking her good pal Jess off because that's what we do with vetoes this season.
Yep.
And Nick puts Nicole up as planned.
As planned.
This is just how it was gonna go down.
No matter how much you felt things in your bladder.
No.
And manifested it.
My bladder is usually wrong.
My bladder's always wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes it almost misses, you know? It's
Lesson learned. So that leads us to Thursday's episode where we start with Nicole is now on the block. We see Christy start to tell everybody about her power.
Which, don't you hate that? Because her power is such a huge, that diamond power veto we saw in 12 and I think 4. And you wanted to, and the fact that she can be anonymous with it.
Yes, that's how it's so wonderful.
Yeah, and it's so great for us viewers. And now everyone knows it's like, I don't even care about it anymore.
Useless.
She's ruining it.
She tells Nick and Bella first, is what we see on the show. But we know that she then tells everybody else in Undeniable.
Yeah, because she had already told Tommy and
Jack.
Okay, I call him Aquadouche. I can't not call her
right.
that. I'm sorry.
That is what his name is. And then Nicole kind of says, like, I'm not really gonna like crazy campaign. I'm just gonna kind of live in the house and like chill, which is fine because then we see the 6 shooters start talking about how like we're not taking Nicole out. Like Nick can put her up all he wants, but like that's not our agenda. We want Cliff out, which we both on our channels have been talking about for like a week now.
Yes, and it makes total sense game-wise because Nicole has set her sights now. I mean, she's in this fight, this feud with Bella and Nick, and so the 6 shooters ultimately want to take out Bella and Nick. Yeah. So they have someone to do it.
Right.
Where Cliff is more likely to go that way. He follows the power.
He does, and he had Christy's name in his mouth legitimately during his Cliff Notes, and that's really what scared her, was she thought he was just like not playing the game.
Yeah.
And to hear that he was playing the game, she's like, I can't have him in this game. So that's their thing, but they never let on to Nick and Bella. They don't even tell Nicole.
I know.
I don't know how these people are playing the game, but it's different.
It is different. It is different. I think I heard them on live feeds. They were so afraid of anyone finding out and they wanted a true blindside to hit Nick and Bella. And I actually, that's the first time I ever agreed with Jackson in my life and ever will again.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I was like, yeah, I want to see their faces.
Yes. I mean, that's true. If you tell Nicole, then she doesn't campaign. Like today, she was doing her rounds, her one-on-ones, and people were not giving her anything. So to everyone looking, you know, Cliff felt comfortable. Poor Nicole's doing her thing, but I'm safe.
I'm a pawn and a super fan, Cliff Hogg. And it's like, Cliff, you're a super fan. You know nothing is ever for sure. Ever in Big Brother.
I didn't see him doing really any campaigning. Nick kept comforting him. Because Nick was sure that...
And he's a horrible therapist.
He's also really bad at the game.
Yes.
He's playing really horribly too. We get little bits about each of the camp comebackers.
Yes.
Which is just kind of like lovely that they got an edit, but it was all sad.
Yeah.
I mean, except David had great social game. That was great. But Jack's obsession with Kimmy...
And we see it.
We did.
Sarah and I were like, they're actually showing something negative.
That was surprising.
On Jack, which was so great because watching him on the live feeds mansplain the fridge, spatial relations, and courtesy to Kemi was the grossest thing. And I'm just,
No, I can't believe they showed it, but I'm so glad. We should all be on the same page now.
Yes.
He's horrible.
Trouble. And Kemi handled it with such grace.
Perfectly.
And I couldn't. I would be like, excuse me,
oh
man bun, what are you trying to tell me about space? Like, my cup can go where it wants.
I don't think I could have had a straight face like she did.
And the way he approached it with, what happens if? And she's like, it gets full. Just logically.
No. Just go. Ovi's little bit was about being left out, which is hashtag accurate.
So accurate, too accurate.
But then we go to the vote.
Yes.
And we were like, is it gonna be? Who's gonna mess this up? How did it go wrong? I saw on the feeds today that they did tell Kat, because that was like the big debate. Do we loop Kat in?
Did they loop Jess in? They even talked about.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, we don't want too much.
Jess is not. But Kat, they kind of use as a rat, like a mole. What's the animals?
It's the rat mole.
They use her for that. So not looping her in would have like annoyed her or ticked her off.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to let her know, but they didn't need her vote. So she could still play it off like, I'm with you, Nick.
Like, what?
Right. So they did tell her, but we see the vote is 6-4. Six shooters were the only people who voted to keep Nicole. And we got a decent response from Nick and Bella.
Nick was just like, and then Bella's like, told you. You know that she's had many conversations when the lights were off telling Nick they're not on our side, and Nick's like, no, you can trust Christy because we saw that.
Yeah.
And Bella knows you can't trust Christy because Bella doesn't believe you can trust anyone because she's Bella and she knows how people work because she's a...
Well, because you can't trust her.
She's a snake.
But Bella like trusted them over Nicole.
Yes.
Which was dumb.
Which I think just was that power move. There was more of them. If Nicole would have been in the bigger alliance with anyone else, she would just follow that big
going where
group.
the power is.
Yes.
Right. That makes sense. So they're surprised. This is the vote. Hugs. Nicole is surprised. Everybody's surprised.
Cliff Hogg looks devastated because I just still can't believe Cliff offered himself up as a pawn. Like tribute. No, Cliff, super fan.
Hi.
Listens to all the podcasts. Now should listen to Nerdtainment and my channel.
Yes.
And give us a shout out.
We need a shout out.
We deserve that. But the fact that he was just like, no, she's going home. I know.
Yeah. No, I feel really bad that he was like kind of the one that got the short end of all of this. Because, you know, we want Nicole to stay.
Yes.
But Cliff's gonna be just fine, guys. Let's get to it. So this vote is like real quick. Okay, everybody go out to the back for this Camp Comeback comp.
It's the worst.
Oh my god, you guys! I'm like sweating. I'm so nervous. Who's it gonna be? Honestly, I was like, I'm good with anybody but Cliff.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Like, they all have their lovely qualities, but 3 of them could like do something in the game
and make a big change. That's what we need right now.
Right. We need that. And then Cliff's just gonna like follow.
Yes.
That's what he does. Okay, well, it's the ball on the curvy thing.
And to me, that's one of my least favorite. I just saw it and I thought Cliff might have a chance.
Did you?
I kind of did a little bit, but because you saw his face and he was very like stone faced, like pissed up. It's kind of like how Nick won last week. Granted, it was throwing a dart and it's all luck.
Right.
At Velcro, but he was like, get some. But yeah, I thought maybe.
I felt like, oh gosh, it's anybody's thing, right?
I thought David would do a lot better.
Well, yeah, it's hard, but they'll get it. It'll be close.
But we decided Cliff has this in his backyard.
You know he does.
Because he's a super fan.
I guarantee. Let's find his family.
He's like, Kelly, I'll be in a minute. And he's doing the little thing.
He didn't drop one ball.
No, he got them all in a row.
And no one else, well, eventually,
Ovi got
like on ball
1.
4 or 5 for Cliff, Ovi got 1. And that was like not even it was like Kat doing her veto. Like no one else is even playing.
No one's
and
close.
All of a sudden, Cliff's back in the house.
And it was literally worst case scenario, as you were saying. I mean, because we wanted to see David get his redemption. We want to see Kemi. We want to see Ovi.
Yes.
They spent so long in Camp Comeback.
Oh my god.
To just be taken out so quickly by Cliff. But then you saw Cliff after he won, and Cliff might be ready to finally start playing the game.
Look, if this is what it takes for him to be like, no more floating back and forth, like I'm here to play, then great. I'm on board. I mean, obviously Cliff's a lovely person. He's not really being that problematic other than
compared to everybody else.
Exactly.
He's not. Yeah.
He's just saying what that person needs to hear in the moment and saying something else to a different person.
I mean, we wish he would be that guy that would stand up and go, that's wrong. But we're not seeing that really from anyone on this cast, unfortunately.
It's a bummer to lose Ovi and his power.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that power play out. But the fact that he had already told Jack and Jackson, so most of the house kind of knew.
They did.
It was not going to really probably play out anyway, even if he came in. Poor David. He has to have like the worst Big Brother experience of anybody.
They better have him back. And I'm always, I don't know how you feel, Sarah, but I'm always for an all-star season because we haven't had one since 7.
No.
And some people might say David doesn't deserve all-star. I think he does. For what he put up with in this house.
I'm for like a season of everyone who went out first.
A redemption season.
Yes,
like Survivor
absolutely.
type style.
We don't have to call them all-stars, whatever.
Yeah, you're
like,
right. We don't.
Come back pre-jurors, like whatever. But yeah, because he was immediately out, and then he's in sequester for like 2 weeks.
By himself.
By himself. That's horrible. Then he's thrown into this awful camp comeback situation.
Comes in the house, they're all like, why is he trying to talk to us? Because he's lonely.
Oh my God.
And he's a human.
A month plus 2 more weeks of no, it was just horrible. I feel so awful for him, and he was teary in his Julie interview.
The Julie interview was really hard to watch, and I wish it would have been longer, and I know there's an extended version.
Right, we'll have to go watch that.
We'll have to watch, but it was just, he was crying, Kemi was tearing up, Ovi was upset. But I really feel like we should have asked, Julie kind of started to.
She was trying.
Ask about what Ovi was hinting on and what we've seen on the feeds. David and Kemi talk about how they feel like they're treated differently and kind of figure out why.
Yeah.
But Julie didn't push it.
No.
And I feel like they were playing it safe too because they don't quite know how America feels yet.
Right. They don't have, their whole perspective is topsy-turvy. Is that the time to bring it up? They don't know.
Yeah. So many things must be going in emotions through their head right now.
Right.
If they really wanted this game, they probably all thought they were going back in. You know, each of them had that confidence, which is great.
Right.
And they never expected Cliff Hogg to take off his cowboy hat. Then after he won, did you catch? He tried to Hulk Hogan rip his shirt. I was like, Cliff, oh my, this is a new Cliff. And I am here for this Cliff.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, if this Cliff comes in, guns blazing, just the hat's on 24/7, keep that hat on, Cliff.
Yes.
Remember where you came from and say, all right, city folk, I'm taking you out.
Throw Orwell in their faces.
Yes.
And be like, let's go.
Let's go.
That's fine. Okay, great. I'll be on board for that as well. I'm just looking forward to them getting on social media.
Me too.
The 3 that are evicted, so that we can give them all lots of love and let them know that we were rooting for them.
You are so right, because I don't think they realize how well liked they are.
No.
Especially Kemi. One thing that surprised me when they were saying who do you want to win, Kemi picking Sam. What did you think of that?
That's weird. And I think once she gets online, she'll change her tune on that. Yeah, well, I had high hopes for Sam like 2 weeks ago when I was like, he's seeing a lot. He's not super aligned with anyone, so he knows he needs to start like taking some shots. I was all for it, but then he just took a back seat.
He did.
And he didn't take shots. And I feel really strongly that on Nick's HOH, Sam could have pushed Nick to make a move.
He definitely could. And he did. He tried. But Nick wasn't hearing it, but I feel like he could have pushed harder. And he did push for the vote to flip for Jess to go and Kemi to stay. So there were those moments, but there were also moments where I was disappointed. Yeah, where he just kind of gave up too quickly.
Right. Yeah, so like he has that potential, but then he doesn't. So unless he changes like Cliff's about to change, then I have no hopes for Sam. He's gonna get booted probably this week. Yeah. I mean, the 6 shooters are gunning for Sam over Nick because he can win comps.
Yeah. And he's more likable.
Yeah.
So he's a bigger threat game-wise.
Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna change in this house.
You know, I can only hope that now Cliff, since he is so close with Nicole and Ovi's gone, he'll turn to Nicole as his own, even though he kind of turned against her a little bit when she needed him. But maybe he'll realize now that these people are not people of their word. Yeah. And they threw him under the bus, and he'll start from scratch and know that Nicole has been loyal to him and kind to him. And they can somehow rally some kind of group, but I don't even know where they can pull from.
I don't either. Like, do they now go to Nick? I mean, I think Nicole is going to go to the 6 shooters because they're going to be like, we saved you. Yep. Depends on what spiel 6 shooters give to Nick to see if that repairs anything. Are they really going to go after it? I just need people to start going after each other.
Yes, we can't do this what's with the house?
No.
It's for the house. And if you're not aligned with anyone, Jess, and technically kind of Kat, like, get aligned. Yeah. Have some side alliances. Have a plan. Let's get some back doors in play. Quit playing for Jack and Jackson.
No, I need Jack on the block. So whoever's going to do that, please. Yes. But if I have to deal with a Nick on the block, fine. I'll take that a second.
Yeah. I would love Nick on the block.
But then that 6 shooters are still
I know, they're too strong. Yeah. They're too strong. One of each, but yeah. I don't know, I hope Cliff and Nicole can have back-to-back HOH wins.
Yes.
They make really smart decisions and really target that big group and don't even mess around with putting Jess on the block. Just a big person with a big person. If someone pulls themselves off, throw another big person out. No more pawns.
Yes, all that. Let's see that.
Yes,
please. Okay, yes. Power change.
Manifest.
People mad and going after each other this week.
Yes.
My bladder is manifesting it right now.
Oh, I feel it.
Yeah? Okay,
2 manifestors in the same room. This is a problem.
Oh no! What will happen? Chrissy's gonna lose her mind.
Oh, she is.
All right, you guys, what did you think about this week, this episode? I don't know.
There's so many thoughts.
Cliff's back in the house. Thoughts on that, please. All that jazz. Please go check out Jolene's channel. It's that pale girl?
No, it used to be, but now it's just at Jolene Lunzer.
Oh, fancy. Oh, you have
So
her
it's
name
just,
now.
yeah, real fancy.
Okay,
guys,
good.
But yeah.
Go there, subscribe, and also subscribe to me while you're here.
And thank you for having me and letting me be a part of this. I feel like I'm sitting in David's chair. This is really exciting, and I always wondered what that window went to. Now I know I'm not going to tell because it's not my place. But
There's nothing back
it's
there.
wonderful.
It's not a secret.
It's really fun though.
All right, I'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.